All right, hi everybody. It's Bonkai922. Okay, before I get into this very, very kind of strange episode Urashura, that seemed like two episodes in one. Yeah, first half was very different than the second half. But anyway, of the episode. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to start off by talking about one thing. This guy Dan Master was asking this whole thing about that I have 1,600 subs and I only get 300 views. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why I only get 300 views sometimes on videos. It's because it's not that popular. Notice how many views I get on the Bleach reviews and how many views I like Bleach reviews and Fairy Tail reviews and how much I would get on, let's say, um, uh, good example, Medica Box or um any of the seasonal anime stuff, um, or Mayu Yusha. It's different. Each video is different, and that's why, you know, ends up that way. And another thing I want to bring up that I'm going to bring up tomorrow night in my live stream. Yes, I'm going to do a live stream later on tonight, Monday night. The Fairy Tail thing. I'm going to stop talking about the manga during the Fairy Tail anime episode reviews. And likewise, I'm going to try to limit myself with just putting the title of the chapter of Fairy Tail instead of something else. I'm probably not gonna do this for Bleach. I might do this for Bleach too, but we will see on that. Now, Urashura. This one was very good. Oh, really good. This one was called. This one was called A Battleground Over the Tears of a Childhood Friend. Now, next week, there's going to be a fight, kind of. And like I said, this was a two-part episode. And because I say that, is the reason why I say that is because part one of the episode, which was the very beginning, was very funny and very slapstick and very crazy. While part two is very serious. I was like, oh, wow. And that's one of the reasons why I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. One, because of the first part and because of the second part. Now, the second part was very sad. It was touching. It was touching in a way, and it was a fight, an argument and stuff. So, yeah. Now, the beginning part of this episode was very fucking funny. Parodies up the wazoo! Wazoo! So basically, what's her face? I gotta go get the names. Mashuzu was talking to Shiwa, Ada's childhood friend. Mashuzu was talking to Ada and trying to, get her to get more popular. That was the whole bit on this episode, just like last week's episode. Trying to get her popular, trying to her to get friendly with friends and get a boyfriend, hopefully, and so on and so forth. So she starts looking at his notebook, which looks like a death note in a way. When you take a look at the cover, it has the symbols and everything. It kind of looks like a death note. So that's a parody there. And starts reading from it. Again, she's pulling out these ridiculous stories that he wrote and shit, and he's embarrassed about it. And one of the stories he had was, Darkness Flame. Yeah, Darkness Flame. And the other thing was the Seven Dragons. And I was like, no, she pulled that out. And I'm like, so far this show is very funny. When it starts doing parodies, it does it well. Does it very, very, very well. Almost perfect. Yeah, almost perfect to a key. But basically that's what happened there. And then he had this. It was so funny. They had a skit where that she was going to come in, and they were going to do this script of her acting out this thing, and it was supposed to make her popular, Chiwa. So they have this skit in the classroom. And I'm like, it's just to get the attention of her senpai, the senpai that's in this classroom. So her and Ida, Eta, are doing a skit, and the entire time she's like saying, "Oh, I feel the power energy," and the whole thing was about Dragon Ball Z, and I'm like, God damn it! Last week was JoJo, now you're doing it in Dragon Ball Z. It was just so funny. It's like, oh, power rating that's fading. I have to go and save him. And then she was like saying this stupid line where when I was washing my bathroom in the mold, I was thinking about them. And then, what she does, she's like this. Oh, that had me dying. I was dying laughing when I saw that shit. She was trying to be a Super Saiyan. And what is he doing? Ada puts on these sunglasses to mimic Scouter. That was just unbelievably fucking funny. So she then says, "Okay, I'm off," and she's flying to save her friends. And then after that all happens, everyone's clapping their asses off, and they're saying, "That was a beautiful comedy skit." And Moshu's was like, "Oh, I brought my heart into this," and they're calling it a comedy skit. And then obviously later on they have a meeting about it, and she was upset and everything, and she says, "No, we'll do this next," and so forth. And then that's when Shewa comes out and says, "I'm going to try to ask him out." She's going to try to ask out this senpai, her senpai in this class, and see what happens. And she decides to give him a letter and her shoe locker. Now that was the part one, and that was fucking funny as hell. After that, it becomes, I want to say, serious to a degree. It gets a little bit. It gets pretty serious. It turns differently. It doesn't. It gets to a point where there are some it gets to a point where people are crying. Some characters are crying. So after that, she makes this letter to say that she wants to ask out this senpai. Fortunately, I forgot his name. Puts in his shoe locker, and she meets up with him, and he says, "Yeah, Sunday we'll go to movies." And it's successful. The whole operation, the whole thing about getting her popular, and Mashuzu's saying, "Oh, this is great. I can't believe that, for the Maiden Restoration Club, it's doing well." And Chiwa brings up the point of the notebook being with the notes in the notebook being, she adores it, she admires it, and Ida's saying, "Oh, that's just a bunch of bullshit. That's just a bunch of scribbly scribble, and those are just random dreamers. That's just a dreamer, silly heart, And she says she doesn't believe that, and that she believes it's cool because this person, even though he knew he was going to be embarrassed, came out with the courage to say it in this notebook. So that's what happens there. And then after that, there's a dinner. Yeah, he goes home with her. Well, actually, first they go to a supermarket, and he notices that Chiwa is kind of not depressed, but she's not herself. So they go home, and he makes up this dinner for her, and he says, "Oh, it's a celebration, and everything." And she starts crying. Eventually. And saying, "Why is this a celebration?" And then she's calling him a jerk. And here's the thing. In some shows, with a show like this, where it involves a bunch of girls, and they like a guy, and all this other bullshit, you get these characters. Now, here's the problem. And I understand her person. I know why she's crying. Obviously, she calls him a jerk and everything. This whole argument saying that obviously he didn't realize that she loves him. But here's the problem with that. He doesn't believe in love. So it kind of fails at the door. Now, then after that, which was done very well, I might add, we have a flashback. I thought that was perfect. And that's another reason I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. Because they did that flashback perfectly. They brought it in right after that fight, and it's basically of Eita, and Chiwa after her accident and during the operation. She tells him that she won't be able to do kendo anymore. She can't do any kendo anymore. She is going to have to give up on that. She's going to have to give up on it. And he's he's traumatized about it. And while they're eating their food and everything, he's thinking about, he's not a dreamer or anything, but he decides, he wants to become a doctor. And the whole thing. He also mentioned his parents leaving and everything, and she's worried about him. And she starts crying. And she hates the fact that he's bringing this up. And he says he's going to become a doctor and help her out. And then, after that scene, we go right back to the present. And he's thinking about his decision. And he's thinking this is stupid. And realizing what a fool he is. And then we go to Chiwa again. And she calls him an idiot, a jerk, baka. That whole bit. And, I understand her problems. But the thing is, it's like, it's kind of one of those hard decisions. It's not one of those hard things. You want to say, she's wrong, but no. You want to say he's wrong, but no. Because he doesn't believe in love. And then we see also Mishuzu, and this is the last scene of the episode. She says, he reads the rest of the book and saying that he's a fool or an idiot, Ida-kun. You really are an idiot, Ida-kun. And that's pretty much what happens. Now, overall, like I said, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. Overall, like I said, I really like this episode because of the flashback, the way they positioned it, the way they did that perfectly, the funny part in the beginning. It was just an overall great episode of Urshura. Now, personally, I don't know who to go with in this situation. Some people would probably say go with Chiwa because she loves this guy and then he's stepping on her feelings, not realizing he's too stupid to realize it. But at the same time, you got to realize he doesn't believe in love. He doesn't fall in love with anybody. He keeps that distance from himself. So it's kind of a hard thing to go on. But overall, like I said, great episode. I really enjoyed it. Tell me what you guys think. Comments below, the story. And like I said, the whole thing with the fairy tale, spoilers, or whatever you want to say, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to talk about the manga during the anime episode reviews that I do, and I'm going to try to keep title spoilers to a minimum. That way I could probably get more people into watching them, and it'll be a much more enjoyable experience. I'll go into more details on the live stream on later tonight about this. But overall, this was a great episode. Like I said, next week, it's called a little different. Next week's episode is called Fighting Over a Guy is a Battlefield. Now, I don't think this fight involves Mishuzu. No, it doesn't involve Mishuzu. It involves somebody else. Now, it could rather be two people. It's rather his ex-girlfriend, because there's supposedly an ex-girlfriend with this black kind of hair, or it's the fiance. Yes, supposedly he has a fiance. I don't understand that. But supposedly he has a fiance, so. Should be interesting. Tell me what you guys think about this episode review. Episode. What did you guys think about it? I thought it was a perfect score because, like I said, the flashback was put perfectly in. I liked how they did it. I also liked the funny part. I liked the serious part. It was really emotional. I really liked how they all put it together. Like I said, 2 episodes in one. I liked how they did it. Tell me what you guys think. And that's pretty much it. After this, I'll do my One Piece review. And I'll try. Kamigakiru. Oh, shit. I got to do that. We'll see. If not, I'll do it tomorrow. Right before tomorrow, it's probably going to be 2 videos. It's going to be the Kamigakiru review, and it's going to be that video segment idea I said I was going to do. So yeah, this has been Bankai Night 22. I'll see you guys later. Making your childhood friend cry. Yeah, it's really tough out there. It's a really sad one. See ya.